What's up, y'all? So, someone mentioned, they're like, hey, look, you said you had two PMUs in this car. You've had them for a couple years? Huh. Can you show me a little more about that? No problem, buddy. I got you. Alright. So, in the meantime, I realized I was not shooting in 4K. Shame on me. Try to ignore the big old mess right here. Still working on stuff. But this is a better view of what's going on with the interior. Okay, now to try to get this without a wide angle, this is going to be a little tough, but underneath the dash here, I'll throw some lighting at it. Okay. And there is the PMU. This is a speed control box right here by Dakota Digital. This is what's grabbing a T56 Magnum digital signal and outputting it to the gauge cluster to spin the speedo. Then you've got way down under here is the front PMU. Okay. This is a power control module. And this is, you're going to see connector and ECU. Okay. Now let's get a little more comfortable here and I'll try to explain what the heck's going on with this thing and what this is. The other one, of course, being the rear of the car. This going here. So there's the other PMUs underneath this carpet, or what would be the carpet, right here on the other side. Okay. All right. What the heck is a power control unit? PMU. What is a PMU? Well, I imagine your car has some sort of fuse box, something that does relays, control, that sort of stuff. A power control module, PDM, PMU, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. It's a solid state relay less box. So you have a single power source going to that. These are capable of 200 amps each. These have 16 channels. They have 6 low side so they can go to ground. So 16 channel output. 2 of them are 40 amp. The rest of them are 25 amp. And then the inputs, I think there's 16 as well. So these things are able to do stuff like fan control, stuff like fuel pumps, pulse width modulated, soft start. So say you've got a fan, okay, a SPAL fan, it's standard to go on, it takes 14 seconds to go from dead stop to full speed. I can simulate that as a 5-second thing for fuel pumps, staging a fuel pump on, stuff like that. So instead of getting a big hit of electrical current draw on the battery, it's going and soft starting that device. There's a lot of benefits to doing stuff like this because let's say I'm driving. Okay, driving down the road. Here I am with my little steering wheel, kicking my feet. And something fails. Let's say that we have a fan fail, a fuel pump fail, whatever. It's going to keep retrying to start that device that failed, either giving me an error and sending it to CAN bus to the ECU, say, hey, look, this thing has some sort of power draw that's too much. It's got a failure that's just not right. Something is weird here. Puts the car in limp mode, says, hey, look, here's the problem. And then by CAN bus, I'm communicating between the rear one here, the front one over here, and the ECU, to where every single thing is trying to keep the car going in any sort of situation. So in my personal case, I have this thing I'm building for like Silver State Classic, road trips around the world, luxury grand touring, right? So I even just picked up today another set of, look at this jack here, new carpets, right? So I've got new carpet in here. It's like beautiful black carpet, but I just don't like these little tiny holes, right? So I found the factory carpet, which I'm able to restore and then inlay all over on top of this. So I have like a silent interior. The point is, I'm overbuilding the car here so that I can do any sort of driving and any sort of errors that might happen while driving. The reliability of having a self-regulating and smart unit like these to maintain the vehicle is perfect. So I can set up control parameters for every single device so that if it has an amperage draw that's out of line or some other failure point, it's going to be taken care of. So the whole point was to modernize and integrate the car to make it as usable as possible. You know, I want to get a lot of mileage on this thing. I intend the first rotary that I put in this thing to last about 50 to 60,000 miles of road usage. And that's me beating it. The game plan here is about 800 wheel. It should be totally doable. So this is the way. And a lot of people are going to disagree and, oh, why are you building a car for that? Well, if you've been in a first gen like this thing, I'll close the door, which is windows down, by the way. Watch. When I close this door, listen to this thud. Oh, I just hit my ass. But let's try that again. That is a solid car for being something on jack stands. The only rattle you're hearing is the fact that jack stands rattle a little bit. Very scary thought to be in a car with loose jack stands, but the idea being that these things are built like tanks. You know, comparatively to an FD, which is a flimsy chassis, flimsy interior, like this thing. This is all so solid. Everything about this, even the crank, which definitely needs lubricated, is solid. So let's close that up, and then you guys can hear how quiet it is. It's crazy. So we'll see. Really looking at this thing, maybe not road racing, but you know, luxury grand touring. This is an incredibly quiet, comfortable environment, and that's what it's built for. So hopefully that helps the guy with the PMU questions. The idea is to add another layer of reliability to your vehicle by using Motorsport Technique electronics. And that's it, plain and simple. Make it as modernized as possible. I'm sure Rob Dom is going to have his video coming up soon. He's gotten his for the last couple weeks, and I don't know, I've had mine for over 2 years, so the amount of controls and software stuff you can go through is mind-blowing and amazing. So I'm sure he's going to love his. The communities that work around it, ECUMaster and their distributors and the companies that work with them, amazing. So I think you guys are going to love this. Check it out.